What's up, guys? It's Frankie here. We're out overlooking the bay. I'm visiting some friends. It is fucking windy as fuck. I want to show you guys how to land clients with cold email and make this whole thing a lot easier and simpler because, you know, a lot of clients are getting so many emails these days, and if you don't do this right, you basically just feel like you're frustrated, going nowhere, getting told no a lot, and mostly not even getting told no, just getting ignored. So I want to show you guys the keys here to not get ignored. So let's get into that. By the way, that little musical intro is me personally, so if you hate it and talk smack about it, I'll have to ban you from the channel. Not really, but you just hurt my feelings. My fragile ego will never recover. So one of the things about this is when you're trying to get clients, by the way, with cold email, is a lot of people do this horribly wrong, and you end up feeling, the clients and you, by the way, both feel a little bit like Arnold.
Get off your
Arnold, come on, get back to the chopper. Good old Arnold. So, I'll give you a perfect example of this. I was talking to a guy, and this guy was from India. I forget his name. And he kind of had like a little bit of a churn and burn mentality. So he had sent 1,000 messages last month through Facebook Messenger, and he was trying to go after web designers, and he was trying to, be like their white label guy. So I want you to just imagine for a second you're in his shoes, and he was cold messaging, and what he would say is basically like, do you need a web designer? They would say, send me your work. He would send him a sample of his work and say, I'll give you 40% off if you hire me. And the problem with that is, firstly, if you've never hired a white labeler, by the way, it's like it's a big potential risk to your reputation, and so it kind of creates that you shall not pass feel.
You shall not pass!
You shall not pass is what most of those people were doing. So, you know, if you're a web designer and you're just going to give somebody a bunch of work, it's a big, scary risk to your reputation. And so 40% off is not really clear what you're working together. In fact, what this guy concluded, by the way, which is what a lot of people did, he said, well, Facebook messaging doesn't work. I'm gonna send 1,000 more messages on email. And what he should really focus on is sending one good message that actually works, and then scaling that. But instead he thinks the solution is volume. So where most people I think go wrong is just insane amounts of volume. Now I'm actually doing a couple of cold messages outreach right now. I sent 5 and I heard back from 3 of the people, and they're all like big potential deals. And just, you know, they were very, very personalized messages. They didn't take me long to write. Like, I only personalized a sentence or 2, and then I had an offer that was very, very easy to say yes to. So in this case, what I would recommend is, if you're thinking him and you want to get white label deals, well, one of the best things he could do is just say, hey, I'll make you a website for free, but just so you know, I'm doing this for free because I want to get a whole bunch more projects for you later that are paid, but how else will you know how we work together unless I give you a free sample of it? And so you reach out to them and you say, hey, Joe's Web Design, I noticed you guys do a whole bunch of web design for plumbers and all that kind of stuff. I would love to be a potential partner for you, and the way I'm going to show it for you is I know you need somebody to prove it, so would you be open to, if I just took one of your web design projects off your plate, totally free, and hopefully we can work together long run. That's a nice pool view over here in Mexico. So you do that, and you'll start to have a lot more success, and you'll feel more like Hank Scorpio. You guys gotta see my rock face. I'm dropping Simpsons references on you guys, so if you don't appreciate that, then there is no pleasing you. There is no pleasing you. So I want you guys, before you think about like sending 1 million messages, the first thing is think about how you can actually personalize a sentence. You don't have to personalize this wrong, personalized, hey, I saw your daughter grow up here, but just something that says, hey, I'm writing to you, the person receiving this message, not just sending 1 million. Like, people think in terms of volume, and instead of thinking about sending one really, really good targeted message. In fact, I think if you sent 10 personalized, well-written messages a day, you'd be more effective than sending 1,000 with software that are just generic, untargeted. The second thing is you want to think about having an intro offer that's really, really easy to say yes to and relatively simple for you to deliver. So in the case of the web design, I would think about like, hey, I'm going to give you a free project, but at the same time, I'm probably going to use a template or some kind of tool or some kind of previous design so that I don't have to reinvent the entire thing from scratch, right? Like if I'm going to give you a freebie, I'm not going to spend 40 hours making a custom design. So you want to think about like how you can optimize both giving away something of value and getting something back in return, but doing that strategically. And you can of course charge for that. I'm not like saying it has to be free, but you want to think about doing it in such a way that it's easy to say yes to, right? Like this person was just saying, I'll give you 40% off of what, right? Like if you don't know what that is, it doesn't really mean anything. But if you said, hey, I give you one free website just so we can have a chance to work together, that's a very clear offer, and there's a very clear reason why they do want to take it up from me. I hear my kids being loud downstairs, by the way. So I hope that's helpful to you guys who are doing your cold email if you're getting ghosted. And the best way to, by the way, to do cold outreach in that way is to always end your communication with a question. Like, would you be open to that kind of arrangement? Because you can test the effectiveness of your message by what kind of responses you get. If it just says, hey, buy my shit, then you'll just get ghosted and you won't really know where you're screwing up. You need the human being on the other side to respond to figure out where it's going wrong. And I'll tell you one more thing just before we go, where most people really goof this up, is they try and make the sale in a single message instead of just doing the right thing to do is you're just trying to open a buying conversation. If you think about that, you'll have a lot more success. Think about how can I open a buying conversation instead of trying to close it in a single message. You'll have a lot more success in general and an easy to say yes to offer. So that's all I got for you guys in this video. Hopefully that's helpful to you guys out there, and may the force be with you. If you're not already subscribed, hit the old subscribe button.